What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the second update on this build. This is the AMT 2021 Ford Bronco First Edition kit. If y'all haven't went out and checked this kit out, go out, pick you one up, bring it in, and have fun with it. This is a great kit. This is some new tooling that AMT has out for this particular truck or SUV, whatever you want to call this thing, but it is a great little kit. And when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh man, I like this thing." So, and I was more than happy to go out. I've talked to a lot of people that has built this kit before. One of my good friends that writes for Model Car Magazine, Tim Kalankowitz, in issue 221, he did a review and did a build up of this particular kit in box stock fashion. Oh my God, that thing turned out so good. And I was talking to Tim not too long ago. He was like, "Fred, you got to get you one and have fun with it." And I was like, "Careful what you ask for." I was on a hangout a couple of weeks ago with some friends. Another one of the YouTube content creators, Mountain Dew Modeling, Jimmy. He told me the same thing. He said, "Pappy, I've got this kit." He opened it up. Let me take a peek inside of it, and I liked it. So I opened mine up that night also, and my mind just started. The creativity part of my mind said, "Kit bash it." And what are you going to kit bash it with? And I was just like, "Well, I've got a lot of out there in the model car junkyard, better known as my stash. I had a few of the Revell Chevy Game Tracker or Big Game Hunter kits, and I always like, if I'm going to use that particular platform as far as the frame, I always use it for a lot of either pickup trucks or, in this case, an SUV kit bash. And this particular frame is what is this one's sitting on as we speak. I've been working. It takes a lot as far as shortening the wheelbase. The first thing that I do when I shorten, or anytime I use a donor frame or anything like that, I take the original frame, or I kind of mock up the kit itself that I'm trying to build, and I always take my center to center measurements, and I'm going to show y'all right here. And of course, I got a lot mocked up. I take the center to center on the kit frame, the original kit frame, and see what the center to center is from the axle stub or axle, center of the axle to the center of this axle right here. And what I came up with was four and an eighth, right at about 4 and a 16th, if I ain't mistaken. And I always plot that out on a piece of paper, just two lines, center to center, 4 and a 16th. That way I know what my true center to center is on that. Then I take the donor frame, and if y'all have watched any of my videos, how I do on the Pro Streets, same thing applies to a four-wheel drive or any other thing that you're kit bashing, where you're trying to, swap frames and with different wheelbases and stuff. So we took the Big Game Hunter, and I figured out how much I need to shorten on this, and it was a radical amount. It was almost 1 inch I had to take out of the frame, right in the center, and I'll show y'all where I did all this at as we dissect this down. But let's talk about the tires and wheel package. We'll get to the frame stuff here later. I've got everything finished on the frame. We started on the tires and wheels the other night, and the reason I'm not using the tires and wheels out of the Big Game kit, those, I tell you what, Revell, if they need to do anything, if they want to, up their game, they need to look at the problem that they have with the directional pattern. And when I say the directional, if you look at these Scenes Unlimited, you see how these are directionalized. Where if, and I'll take the other set, if you see how, if you've bought that kit before and you've used that kit in any of your four-wheel drive builds, y'all know what I'm talking about. So Revell, they need to really step their game up and get you some better tires and wheels in those kits, and you might I might buy a few more. I might buy them like like a 67 Chevelle. No, I'm just kidding. But anyhow, so I elected not to go with them. These are a set of Scenes Unlimited rubber tires and wheel or tires that I purchased from them a while back, and I've been really jonesing to build these up. And these are just great tires and wheels. I robbed the wheels out of another Revell kit, one of the step-side Chevrolet kits that just recently came out. Reason being, the diameter of these wheels are a lot different than any other kits. I think these are almost about, these are almost 3/4. These are 3/4 inch diameter wheels that are on these. So other wheels are normally about 5/8 in diameter. So these slide through. And if y'all are looking at why is there something missing out of there? Well, we'll dive into that here just in a minute also. And there's the center that came out of these, and we'll talk about that what we have here in the future with this build. But the mock-up that I've got right here, this is just, the tires aren't going to stick out that much. They'll be up under the fender wheels and be looking a lot better. But let's start pulling this down. I'll tell y'all what all I've got done so far on it, and hopefully this will energize some of you guys and gals that might want to build a four-wheel drive for the future, and go with it from there. And you can see what all I've had to do. It's a pretty radical ride height as far as how high this particular. If you take and I'll tell you what, let me use these. That is about. Let me get that centered and dropped. That's about what it'll look like right there, which it's really not that bad. It's not that radical of a lift. But for this particular truck, that was just the first thing. And the older first generation Broncos that were out there, man, I love to see those sitting up on about some 36 or maybe 38s. I've seen one sitting up on 40s and 44s, and that was just terrible. Ugh, I was afraid that thing would tip over. But this is I feel like this will be a nice little addition to my four-wheel drive collection. But let's flip it over. Let's talk about this. Let me untape. Let's untape everything. I like using the tape when I'm mocking stuff up along with the white glue. Comes apart better. Let's pull this out. Let's set the cab right here. But this frame, I did a lot to it. If you're familiar with the frame and the kit, right here is this area right here, right behind the transfer case mount. This is the front half. This is the back half through here. So I cut right here with my razor saw, separated the back, set this to the side. Then we took, there's about a 1-inch piece that I took out this way and off of the rear section. So I took about 1 inch of it out and married this back together with this. And when I glue everything back together, I'm always using this as far as the Tamiya cements right here, and I tape the frame down, get everything plumb again, and let it set overnight, and everything glues very nicely back together. Once we got that procedure done, I took my graph paper, brought it back, and I set it down, lined up the front line of the front axle in the front, and seen where I was at, mocked everything up. I did have to move the location on the tabs as far as the mounting tabs here, and I can pull this off here. You can see that these are not the kit mounting tabs for this area, or for these right here. So because I had to move this a little bit more as far as the rear springs assembly forward, and I also had to shorten this spring right. Let me set this down where everybody can see. I had to cut this spring section right here separate from this, from the rear housing. We cut it off here and took a chop saw. Once the spring was off, chopped off maybe about an eighth and got everything glued back together. And we had to relocate. These right here, as far as the mounting positions on this. That way, when I go back to my graph paper, everything in this and this was back at 4 1/8 inches on center to center. So everything came out good with this. We had to, and if you recognize this piece, this was the piece that was back here. We had to move it, cut it out, and I just took some evergreen styrene and made another cross member here. There was a cross member. If you're familiar with the big game kit that has the mufflers mounted on them, I didn't like that. Out they come with the razor saw, and I'm not even putting one back in here. I just feel it just doesn't even need to be there. But everything, and we'll show you the ease of how everything goes back together. Like, I said it was easy. There it went. Everything fits like a glove now, just like it's supposed to. But everything will. I think everything's ready for a little bit of paint right there on that. So we'll be getting that thing into paint. Let's talk about the tires and wheels for the final thing. The tires and wheels that I'm telling you about, these are the Scenes Unlimited rubber TSL boggers. Really like these tires and wheels. These things, you can hear these are solid. These are solid tires, and they really give you a good platform for your 4x4 builds. These are the wagon wheels that come in that Revell kit. That's what they looked like. When I take all I do to cut them out is I take my nippers, I flip them over, and I just pinch each attachment point until that thing just drops right out of there. Then I'll take my razor knife. We'll clean up around in here, get everything cleaned up really nice and smooth. We'll get that poked through there. Now, why am I leaving the hole open? Well, I want to take the kit tires and wheels, or the kit wheel that came in this particular AMT kit. I really like these, and I'm going to do these just like I do my Pro Street builds. We're going to hollow out the wheel. We'll paint this wheel, and these wheels are going to still be chrome, but I'm going to do the inserts on these black, a gloss black, and we'll eventually get these to fitting in there very nicely. These won't be as deep. I've got a little trimming, still more to do on these, but once we get them painted, we'll get these glued up, and they'll have that chrome effect and black in there. That'll look really good. Then we'll detail paint around each one of these opening with some AK Super Chrome. But that's where we're at with that. We'll get the tires and wheels all laid out. Let's talk about the color on it. I've already chose the color for this particular build. It's going to be the TS32 haze gray. Everything as far as the body will be haze gray. The rooftop here will be a NATO black. The fender flares, they will be black. Still deciding on the front bumpers whether I want to chrome them or go with NATO black on them as well. So still more to come on that particular decision on that. Interior, still going to be poppy red. But we haven't got anything done yet as far as pulling out any of the interior pieces. This is a curbside kit. When you get it, it's if you elect to go kit bashing with it, it leaves you a little bit to the imagination on the engine. This one, however, is not going to be curbside. There's going to be an opening once I'm finished with all the framework. We're going to figure out how much to open this right here, and then be working on the inner firewall of this particular build. We're I've already got an engine planned for this. I'm going to leave that for the next video. You can leave that to. It's not going to be a 4-banger. It's going to be a big engine, of course, and it will not. I'm not going to put a blower or anything like that on there, but it's going to be a full. It's going to be a pretty big engine. I think y'all will be happy with what I'm picking out. So. But anyhow, thanks for everybody following along with this build. As I always say, stay tuned to this channel right here. Fred Henry's West Georgia Rods and Customs, old Pappy himself, for updates on builds that's going on with the channel. Go over to MCV Products, bring your models to life. That's www.mcvproducts.net. Pick up some of that good 3D printed stuff that Matthew and the girls sell over there. And go over to the Scale Model Car podcast with Lucas C., BG, Jason, Chuck. Listen to some of the stuff that they're over there and that they got going on. Always something interesting, great topics that they talk about. And as I always say, folks, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.